Pull up a chair, episode 31. We are live.
31.
It's a snowy, sleepless Saturday here in the Thunderdome.
Off and on.
We're definitely cozy. Always cozy. Hope everybody's having a blessed and wonderful day. Getting ready to kick off Pull Up a Chair, episode 31. Got a lot to talk about, as per usual. To my left, I got the Book of Snooker author himself. Off the top rope, off the cage, off the cell, off the Titantron.
Ooh-wee. We coming in hot.
As always, you got El Tucker Tente, the ultimate motherfucking sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce Lee everything he motherfucking knows, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stoney, a.k.a. Young Dumbledore, a.k.a. call me what you will, just never call my broker sad. It's Mr. Edward Swisherhands, a.k.a. keep the love high and the motherfucking hate low. How's everybody doing on this blessed, wonderful, sleepless Saturday? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
How's Snooker doing in life?
We're doing
good week in the books?
Great week. Test fired the motorcycle once. Went good. No major issues from that. Battery was a little weak, so went to Walmart, got a battery charger, maintainer for it. Second test fire last night was better. Got a little leak in my seal on the bottom of my gas tank, so I'm dripping a little bit of gas. I didn't have a lot of gas in my gas tank because I knew there could be issues. So it was just for test purposes. Tested it. I don't think I had enough gas in there for it to grab the gas and actually start the bike. Sounded like she wanted to turn over and start. She sounded good. Didn't start yet. Plan on getting a new seal.
It's getting there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's in my kitchen, so I don't want to have just gasoline just dripping, So
yeah.
So I'm doing it slowly but surely type of thing.
Good idea.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. When you're a bachelor and you don't got a garage, and you want to work on your bike,
you gotta make it work.
You turn half your kitchen into a workshop, like in GTA. It's like, oh, roll out of bed. Oh, there's a garage. What do you know? Hey, good life. But yeah, week's been good. Work kind of went by pretty smoothly this week. Like each day, not like it was flying by. But
my 9 to 5 went the opposite. That shit I had a fucking.
Well, there was like 2 days you said they went by quick.
So yeah, well, the days I'll give it that because of what I'm doing. The days kind of going by quick, so I guess I can't complain too much. The week did kind of fly by for real.
That's what I'm talking. Yeah, my work load. My workload was a hassle to deal with.
The bike wouldn't start. My car lost its power steering. That's why it's sitting all awkwardly in the car or in the driveway.
Well, shit. To be honest, my one buddy's car.
Trying to turn that bitch left, have fun.
Yeah, I was about to say, my one buddy's car back in high school, it was no power steering, and that's what we called the daily workout. We just, you don't want to go to the gym today? Go drive BJ's car.
Well, I knew.
Getting it in and out of the driveway it's the hardest when you have to make a short, small turn, because you have to move the wheel the whole thing. So
and then you have to guide it back.
So
because it'll go to.
And he was excuse my language, he was a douchebag, and just because we were young and
Hey, we're past 7 seconds.
But we were just young, and you don't think about someone has to wake up early and leave. So he'd park at the end of the driveway. So if you were the first one up, you'd have to move his car, and at 6 a.m, and then move someone else's car, put theirs back in after you got your car out, and then get it back in his, and then his ended up like this in the driveway.
That's funny as shit.
But yeah, no power steering. That's tough.
And now we got a snowy one.
It's off and on though.
Going off and on
because I was running errands today earlier.
It's an off and on Dairy Queen media.
I was driving, freeway, casual, a little bit of snow, nothing crazy. Then 5 minutes later, got to a heavy snow and visibility wasn't wasn't perfect, but not horrible. But it was you could
that type of weather that when it hits the windshield, you're like, well, this isn't ideal.
It's I was able to see from 30 cars in front of me to 20. So you lost some visibility, but not all visibility. So it was still safe. It wasn't
one of those days in Ohio where you feel like you're in the middle of Bird Box.
It wasn't a whiteout. It wasn't a whiteout by any means, but it wasn't
That shit
Great.
drives me insane, bro.
But literally 15 minutes driving, on the freeway, get off. 4 minutes down the street, stop snowing, sun come out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, that's why I'll always give wifey credit for when we went down to Disney and when we were coming back through North Carolina on our honeymoon.
That shit's the amount.
I never wanted to say it out loud until we made it through it.
Well, you never.
I could
that.
not see a single
The
fucking
fog.
thing. And I know with me having 20/20 and how her vision is, I'm thinking if I can't see shit, what the fuck are you looking at? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to word it like that, but like, yo, I can't see a headlight right now. I don't know where the lines even are.
No, I feel
like
that's kind of how it was today. It was like if a car didn't have their lights on, like if you had your automatic lights on, put that to that side.
Oh my bad,
Thank
I
you.
forgot
You're
it
good.
blows.
Like my automatic lights didn't turn on my lights during the snow because it was still bright out. So like I had to turn on my lights so people could because if you didn't have your lights on, people would be like, "Is that a car or is that just some like?" It's hard to see people without their lights on from a little bit of a distance like that. So, like I said, it wasn't a horrible whiteout, but I mean, some people crashed into the side of Indian Kitchen, so apparently they can't handle it. I mean, Jesus.
How does that happen?
A little bit of snow, like that's what I can't stand.
A little bit of snow on the ground, and your cuisine might get an extra little appetizer of entertainment.
A little bit of snow or a little bit of rain, and people just
the rain really seems to fuck people up for some reason.
Forget that, like, oh, maybe I should brake a little sooner than I normally do, or oh, I'm used to texting on my phone. Maybe I should just stop for 15 minutes and actually like look at my surroundings. Because hey, we're all guilty of looking down at the phone, changing music, whatever. But if like, I'm guilty of it too.
I'll put on an album and let it ride.
But I also do that. Like,
I'll be like, I'll throw on good AM and here we go.
Exactly. Now, if I'm at a red light, I look at my phone? Yes, I'm guilty, but I'm not. I also see people literally driving and like this, because they're just staring at the phone. I'm like, are you even looking at the? Like,
I had a snap like that years ago. Don't condone this behavior, but when I was 21, I was going buck wild at the bars, and I'd drive home, and I remember I took a snap of me chugging.
What incident are we talking about that we shouldn't
21
legally?
I won't get the RICO for that.
No,
I won't get the RICO for that. So
we all did things we shouldn't have.
What topic would you like to dive into first?
Let's get like movies out the way.
You want to do movies and TV?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So, Oscars recap seems to be what everybody's talking about in the movie industry for the past week.
Two.
I got to give credit to Dooley. He called that motherfucker. That was the book of Dooley on that one.
For
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once swept. Got 7.
Yeah, I did.
7 dubs. Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor. Best Actor went to Frasier. You called that on The Whale.
My
Best Supporting went to Ki Hoi Kwan.
My one statement, or I guess proposition, question, intriguing, I guess. One thing I'll bring up is they swept up 7 awards, whatever,
Big ones.
How does Avatar come out in the same year, break records, box office hit, smash, and then
Top Gun 2.
That's what I was about. And then also in the same year, Top Gun 2 Maverick demolished records.
They each won 1.
And that's what I was about to say. And
Top Gun won Best Sound, and Avatar won Best Visual Effects.
And they had to, and those are the pity awards, because if we don't give Avatar or Top Gun 1, everyone will definitely know it's rigged. How did those 2 movies both break $1 billion at the box office, and one of them doesn't get Best Motion Picture?
I'm gonna try to answer it. I'm gonna try to answer that question. It's a tough one.
All I'm saying is, and
a lot of politics involved.
I'm not saying that movie wasn't a great film. I didn't watch it, so I can't speak critically. I can't speak on it how I should, because I didn't watch it. But
You know what it is?
When you have two separate movies that are different genres, but are also both a next chapter in that film series, come out and break $1 billion a piece, and people are like, it literally was published and
Tom Cruise didn't even get a nomination for
it
Best
was
Actor.
but it was like all like advertised. Top Gun was like, you must see in theaters because it's that, like, you need to see it in the big screen. How does that not win Best Motion Picture? If people were literally going 4 or 5 times, each person going to see Top Gun. Like, people were going back multiple times when they usually...
I went twice.
And people were going, and they usually never go to the movies, but they were going just to see that movie at the theater. Like,
my answer comes back to, I think, the politics on it. And what I mean by that, because I got to walk a fine line with it, is here's me walking a fine line with it. Look at the ethnicity of the cast of the Best Picture.
But then how do you explain Best Supporting Actress getting?
Best Supporting Actress. Oh,
the snub from
infamous. Okay, so you want to get into the snub?
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going...
I don't think it's a snub, so let's get into it. I don't think Angela got snubbed.
I'm sorry, who won again?
Jamie Lee Curtis won, and I think it was very much deserved. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So that's the one that took
Best Picture.
And I didn't mean it as a...
I think, and here's an
Jamie Lee definitely deserved a Best Supporting Best.
I think she deserved the win over Angela. I don't think, and that's not a slight to Angela. Love Angela. This is fucking love Angela.
I love both of them as well. I'm not taking away any of their performance. All I'm saying is how when Kendrick won or whatever, and we like, this isn't Kendrick's best album. I don't think this is Jamie Lee's Best Supporting Cast performance.
Now,
do you see what I'm saying, though? It's not...
Yes, but now here's the angle that I come from that I
she did phenomenal, and it was a great supporting actress role, but it wasn't...
Now, here's...
It's like to where, like, with Brendan Fraser, he deserved that award this year, but from back in the day, him never getting one, they're like, we definitely... Now's our chance to not miss again.
I think is the same logic I apply to Jamie.
And I feel like that is...
And
that's
here's why.
I snub it halfway as a snub.
Because
Wakanda, she deserved it. Angela, she could have won it, I should say.
And if she would have won it, I wouldn't have been mad.
That's what I meant to say.
But
she didn't.
When I said last week that I really wanted Jamie Lee, I look at it like this.
Well, you're also.
But Everything Everywhere All at Once, she did great. She really did. And because of her age, the way I look at it like this is, we don't know if we're gonna get, like, if I'm the Academy, I'm like, okay, you got Angela, you got Jamie. Great performances. They both deserve it. They've both been snubbed over the years. It's fucked. I mean, for God's sake, Angela played 10 more years
in her career.
Angela played. Yes, and I do believe that Angela now, with a chip on her shoulder, especially, is going to be like, okay, let's fucking go, and end up getting her moment. Where Jamie finally got the moment, and it's like Angela's still going to get hers. That's why I said no knock to Angela.
Right.
I'm personally happy to see Jamie get the dub. Because of all the years where, she even said in her speech up there, like, I never got no love in my original genre of movies, and like, now I'm great and thankful to be branching out, and like, people are giving me shots on these roles. Because, I mean, like I said, she did great in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Angela did great in Wakanda Forever, but I think we're gonna get way more great Angela performances more than we're gonna get great Jamie Lee.
That's fair. That's a fair. That's why.
I mean, I personally think the first Angela snub that comes to my mind was when she lost Best Supporting Actress for playing Mrs. Wallace, Biggie's mom in Notorious. The fact that she lost that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was like Cate Blanchett and Babel. I'm like, what the fuck is Babel? I'm like,
excuse me.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Angela got, I mean, like, that's why I saw it too when they said, and the Oscar goes to Jamie Lee. And Angela's face was kind of like, fuck.
Right. It was kind of, and even Jamie's face, she was like, oh shit, they gave it to me. Like, legit was like, oh, wait, what?
Denzel got snubbed and he played Malcolm X. Yeah, we talked about snubs for a minute. That's a massive snub.
And I didn't like.
Denzel got snubbed for Malcolm.
I see it as like, that's why I say like halfway snub, because like both of the roles they did great. So you could go either
And based
way.
on the internet, people really wanted Angela.
And that's why I'm like, I see it as that's why I'm with the halfway snub verdict on mine, because it's like, did Jamie Lee do a phenomenal job? Yes. But was it her best supporting cast job in her career? No.
No, but
Did she get snubbed on one of her best cast? Yes. So are they kind of making it right before they run out of time again? Maybe.
he mentioned Denzel got snubbed. That made me think of some.
What was the rest of the? What was the rest of the? Who did he lose to? If you don't, Big Boss.
Off
if
the top of my head, yeah, that'd be a
forget.
question for him. Yeah, that's a question for you because I forget who he. Well, how that year went.
Because that, yeah, I mean,
I remembered certain snubs where it was like, yo, what? Trying to remember a couple of those. Okay. Eazy-E, the dude that played Eazy-E getting snubbed for best supporting actress for Straight Out, or best supporting actor for Straight Outta Compton.
but then like I got to see like each time, even with that, it's like I want to know who they were going,
people.
yeah, who the other people were, and then who they actually lost to, because that's when you see.
Well, I know in the late 90s, if Tom Hanks was in your category, you were fucked.
That's when you like see like the not the plan.
I know
like
that.
the
Like
little,
if you go back and look in
Oh,
the
yeah.
in the late 90s and early 2000s, if Tom Hanks was nominated,
he won.
just put your money on it. Like,
Well, I mean, to be fair,
easy
he's
done.
one of the best
Yes.
actors ever,
Yeah. Yeah.
arguably.
I think hands down, yeah. I mean, what hasn't he done? This man can act with a fucking soccer ball for an hour and a half. Volleyball. Jesus Christ. Are you sure it wasn't a soccer ball?
Look it up. I'll put it below.
You know your Wilson more than me?
Just pretty sure it was all white. And then he painted red on it. Soccer ball
That's a good question for the viewers. Let us know.
Soccer ball has octagon.
Denzel lost to Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. Wow, what a mid-ass Pacino movie to lose to.
But it was one
And
of the
I
last
love
times
Pacino.
Pacino was probably going to be in a film.
On a main role, probably. That kind of adds.
That's what I'm saying is like you got to see their agenda.
Because his main movie roles that he did in the late, like around 2010
because
was
the agenda,
straight to DVD joints.
And I say agenda by saying like with Jamie Lee this year is like clock was ticking on her.
Pacino's out getting ready to leave.
This man about to retire out of nowhere. Like
this man's been fucking acting since the 40s. Like
literally, not literally, but maybe.
Pacino was probably one of the most iconic roles, if not the most iconic role of all time, though. So I always got to give that one. And look at it this way. This is actually fucking hilarious. I just thought of this. Denzel lost to Al Pacino in Son of a Woman, right? Al Pacino did not win for Scarface. He did not win for Tony Montana. He did not win Best Actor. The movie didn't even win Best Picture. Imagine that. So every time that we talk about the Oscars...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, so I'm always like... You know me and
I forget. Oh, 84?
I'm not going to say I'm a conspiracy theorist.
But maybe 84, 85.
But I'm well educated to want to know why. I'll ask questions. So it's like, 84. USA was probably not trying to push a drug agenda.
But they had to at least nominate it because they're like,
because it was that good of a movie. But they didn't. If you won all these Oscars, you probably just spawned 100 more drug lords or pop. Like,
no, people
wannabes.
Scarface, yeah.
Like wannabe. You know
it's practically
what I mean?
a fucking manual.
So it's like rather, it's like giving them credit but not praising it.
Cheers on the KFC,
if that makes sense. Like, so like. They're not gonna. It's a sticky situation because
you know how sticky it gets.
Yeah, and well, actually, it's a sticky.
You gotta always take the Oscars though with a grain of salt, just like the Grammys, because look at all those cases where it's like, you're telling me Pacino didn't win for Tony Montana? Who beat that? Like,
it's more like it's a sticky situation, and we know it's sticky, but we don't know who made it.
Well, and then like you said with the agendas too, it's like when Hurt Locker won. It's like, I saw the Hurt Locker. It's not that good of a movie. And then I saw it got nominated. I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. The Iraq War just ended, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, fuck me, it won. I'm like,
Out of
oh,
nowhere.
wow.
Like,
I'm like,
okay,
okay.
I guess.
And then the next year, guess what wins? Zero Dark 30. Osama. The Kill.
And
the Kill movie. It's
and
like,
if we're going back
to back years, you don't see the consistency there.
And if you look back at like history, like through
You know
war
what the-
times
You
and
know what movie it
propaganda,
was the year after that? Hold on, they did a trilogy. The one after that, American Sniper. They did
So
it 3
if
times
you-
in a row.
if you looking at it from outside in, the propaganda is like for those movies is American military comes out victorious and heroic.
Yeah.
So 3 years in a row when we were bombing people unknowingly in Middle Eastern countries and using bomb drones with authorized and like secret op missions actually happening. Like, I mean, Lupe raps about he won't vote for Obama at the same time because he was blowing up shit and people didn't even know. So like,
And Lupe said that in like 32 bars, and you condensed it down to one sentence.
So they were pushing these movies. Not saying they were pushing them; they were great movies. But in the same instance, if you step back and like, are they pushing them so people are like, oh, our military is heroic and doing the right thing. So if something bad comes out about the military, they're like, well, we are the
but Bradley Cooper wouldn't have done that.
Well, our military is there to serve, protect.
Bradley Cooper said we're just there to serve and protect.
Right, but if you go ask the civilians over there, we're the terrorists.
Hey, Jeremy Renner said this is all for a good cause. It's for our families, all right? Take it easy. Vin Diesel would agree.
Family.
All right. Vin Diesel wouldn't argue.
But so it's like.
But the other thing
don't
I
want
did
to get too deep into conspiracies.
The other thing I did want to mention at the Oscars that I thought was a little fucking wild, just because it was like one of those times where I was like, damn, okay, fuck, what do you have against this bitch? Lift Me Up. Rihanna, they get her to call up, and they said after we will be announcing best original song, for the movie.
Right.
And they're like, Rihanna's performing Lift Me Up. I see Rihanna get up there. I'm like, okay, so it's obviously going to be Lift Me Up. Like, if she's going to get up there and perform
I literally would sue the Oscars if you pull me up while the song that I just performed is a nomination, and then you go, oh, this song won, and they're not performing the song.
And
time out.
She just finished the performance.
Are you paying me for this performance already?
They're like not even moving the drums off the fucking stage yet. And
I'm fresh off Super Bowl.
So the presenters come out there, right?
Price tag is.
Presenters come out there, and they're looking at, like Rihanna's just kind of like looking over, like kind of waiting for the moment, like you said, like okay, like clearly you asked
producers or somebody are like that wasn't supposed to happen.
Like we probably should have shifted this.
That was supposed to happen if she won.
And they go, and the Oscar goes to Hold Your Hand, Lady Gaga.
And now Rihanna has to go sit her ass
Rihanna's
down.
face is like, damn, you just had me come up here and perform the song, wait for you to present the award.
That's
like, I thought it was
her face.
In the moment, I thought it was going to be like, lift me up, Rihanna. And she's like, oh, okay. And like,
okay, that's because that's what was supposed to happen. So that
then it went to Hold Her Hand, Lady Gaga.
She was only supposed to perform if she won. So her face you saw of like utter just like what the fuck was her realizing
hey yo
how unprofessional people behind the scenes were, because someone mislapsed and like
how that was supposed to go.
Because you would never have that happen. Like if she wins, perfect.
I even saw the look on your face when they're like, oh, they didn't do my girl like that.
So it's like because like literally that's the only thing I could think of was like someone backstage was like, oh no, she did win. It's like, yeah, have her perform it. And then they actually like, oh, fuck, wait, no, the wrong car. Like, wait, what? So now because
it won best soundtrack. Because the movie itself won best soundtrack.
As soon as you said people that came out and started talking together, like that's when they realized like production, someone was like, oh, shit. Down the line, someone fucked up this assembly line. So we gotta go back,
organize that bitch, right?
Because Rihanna's not supposed to be standing up here before Lady Gaga wins an award
that Rihanna's nominated for
in the same category. We're gonna have you come perform your phenomenal song and then go sit your ass down because you lost.
To entertain it for a second, do you think Rocky's in the back like, you motherfucker, like trying to you son of a bitch?
He going to Rihanna like, did they pay you?
Baby,
for that?
we're never coming back.
No, he going, did they pay you for that? Because if they didn't, we upcharging like fuck. No.
I'm in the office.
Yeah, because we like You don't perform for free.
Get over here.
You didn't win. You're not performing for free. Like,
This shit ain't free.
I just did a Super Bowl. It's $1 million at least.
So that kind of recaps all the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that covers about everything I needed to think of. Oh,
shout out Brendan Fraser.
I want to make sure
possibility of a mummy return.
Not just before we leave off of movies and TV. I just want to make sure I got his name.
Fuckboy McGee.
No.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to make sure Yep, right here. R.I.P. It wasn't an actor I was too familiar with. Lance Reddick. Yeah. R.I.P. Lance Reddick.
I did see that. R.I.P.
Take a sip for Lance Reddick. Cheers.
He did voice some Batman cartoon.
Yeah. And I saw that he was
John
also,
Wick. He was like, I don't want to say like, only because right now I've seen all the John Wicks, but I don't remember if he's like the Alfred of John Wick. Like,
I think he is.
That's why I wanted to. He's like.
I saw that he passed away. I'm not sure of what yet, but I did see that, obviously he made a great impact in the culture. Yeah, which makes me wonder like what that could have been. But either way, R.I.P. though. Again, I was never too big into his catalog, but I do see on the internet he made a great impact. A lot of movies to revisit that he did.
Go look into his catalog because y'all might not realize
how many gems there was in.
Or like you, for instance, like for animation, animated shit, he was a voice of some big names.
I forgot that.
So it's like he might have voiced one of your favorite childhood characters you didn't even know.
Like I saw he was a voice in The Incredibles, and I'm like, who? And then I remember what character. I'm like, oh, I'm like, wow, I never would have expected that was him. Like,
exactly,
he's good with that shit. Like,
there's a lot of people like, I mean, if you're a voice actor, that's.
Shout out Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
So we got sports, we got wrestling, we got music. Which one next?
Let's go with music.
Okay. I always love talking. Always talking about some tunes. You know what we dive in right away with first? Let's do new music reviews.
Okay.
Not a well, actually, it was my favorite Friday drop of the year. That is complete bias talking though.
That's
so I gotta pop that off.
He said.
Oh yeah, complete bias talking.
At least
for
you're
a minute
honest
on the new music reviews. For
I did check out the Miley album.
What'd you think?
Banger.
Hell yeah. I had a feeling on that one because that one.
She's a savage. I mean,
1,000 Miles.
It's breakup. It's her post-breakup album. Like
yeah.
Like so. Going into that, take that into the album with y'all guys. Don't think it's just like came in like a wrecking ball banger, club bangers.
Yeah, no, very. She's bluesy Miley.
It's a deeper album. That's all. It's
like 1,000 Miles, bro. I'm screaming that shit like a white girl that just got broken up with. Like,
yeah, it's a banger though. If I had to pick like favorite though, it's probably Muddy Boots.
Muddy Boots
or Muddy Feet? Is it
Muddy? I think it's Muddy Feet.
I think it's Muddy Feet, but yeah,
I think it's Muddy Feet.
Yeah, it is Muddy Feet.
River's good.
Yeah, I mean it's all a great album. It's a great album.
Hell yeah! I actually got to revisit it more. So Black dropped another single, "Fatal Attraction." I think he's 4 for 4 right now on the singles, especially with Talkback. I fucking love Talkback.
I did not check out any new singles.
I'm big pumped for the new Black album. Since I Have a Lover, the cover art's gas, the title's gas. 4 for 4 on the singles. Sign me up. Rory,
random. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just scrolling through new tracks on title. Oh Ohio, Luke Grimes. Don't know who it is, but it says Oh Ohio. So shout out
my book.
Shout out Ohio.
Rory from the Rory and Maul podcast. He's also just went 4 for 4 on singles, and he got a Jay Electronica feature. Rory with Reggie and Jay Electronica, and the record's called Enough, and he dropped a music video for it. Fucking gas.
But a Jay Electronica feature is like a Jay Electronica cosign.
Yeah. And those bitches are hard to come by.
And in essence...
Oh, and the verse is nuts. Verse is absolutely nuts.
And I only say that is because he's one of the few where I'll say his feature is also a cosign because you can't just buy a feature.
No, you don't buy the Jay feature. He comes to you.
Not even that.
Faircon brings him to you.
I don't even mean it like that. I mean he'll turn down your request. Oh, here's $250 for a feature. Sorry, I'm not trying to do it. Oh, here's $500K. Same dude. Sorry, I'm not
Nah.
trying to do it. $750K for your future, Jake. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just not trying to do it.
No, you have to have that relationship like with him.
Or he has to get that vibe from you. Like he has to actually fuck with your music and your vibe, your energy to
Rory,
and then you got to pay him.
Rory said
Like-
that he was originally, when it was just Reggie on it, just going to keep it for the album and maybe not even use it. Then he said that when he was just
You
like
gotta.
literally like hanging out with him after they did the pod, he said that like he was like, you mind just listening to my album, tell me what you think. And when he played enough, Jay was like, well, what's that?
Right.
He goes, mind if I try it? And Rory's like, what? No. Like, yeah, go for it.
Right.
And
That's
Jay,
really, like,
Jay gets in there and he's like, I think I might have something for this. And Rory's like, okay. And then at the end of the verse, Jay's
already
like,
two off the dome.
he's like, what do you think? And Rory's like, wow, like, oh my God, yes. Like,
we can keep
love
that. We don't have to record. I don't have to erase that forever. I can keep that, right?
And Jay's like, yeah, you can keep it for the album too. And Rory said, he goes, I asked him, he goes, don't change your mind. He said, can I use it for a single? And he goes, absolutely. He goes, can I use it for a music video? And Jay, this is the funny part. He goes, can I use it for a music video? He goes, yes, but on one condition. He said, what's that? And he goes, do I have to be there? He said, not necessarily. He said, then you can use it.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, I respect that. But like, and that's where like, even farther, it's like,
yeah, he's like, do whatever the hell you want with it. I'm not showing up.
More than a feature, because it's like, during the pod, he was like, oh, I actually fuck with dude. Like, all right.
He's like, I'll listen to that.
Yeah, let me check it. Oh shit, that's actually kind of fire, right? You got,
Heard the
you
beat
kind of
and-
got a beat like that. Like, all right, fuck, I'm gonna fuck around with, but it's all off of the
Pure
energy,
love, pure
vibe.
genuine.
Yeah, it's nothing like
I'm sure Jay never even mentioned a cent to Rory on it. Like,
right, and I'm sure behind the scenes a deal could have been.
Oh, he'll get a cut for sure.
And that's probably what it will be his percentages from the single blowing up.
He'll pay for the next month of Jay's weed.
But maybe. But it's like he also knew like he was smart for not waiting for the album because that
and Jay gave him one too. That's the other important thing. Like Jay didn't just phone
Jay
it in.
don't go on a track if
That's true. He's not a phone in guy. You don't phone it in.
He's too respectful of the music. Like he's not gonna half-ass any verse. That's why I said you can't buy a verse from him because a 6ix9ine could have walked up to him 3 years ago and be like, "Here's $1 million," before any legal issues or anything.
Jay would have been like, "I wouldn't do it for $1 trillion."
But when 6ix9ine was the biggest hit in the game right now, he could have got like Jay.
I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Jay's
always been that guy too. Like I'll never forget watching movies with the sound off. Like the most randomest track and beat on the fucking album featuring Jay Electronica. And Mac Miller said that, and then his story with Jay was like the same thing.
I'll compare like Jay to like Hobson, that got more.
Be careful with that. I see where you're going, but you're
Published.
walking
Like
the line.
more
I also think
spotlighted.
he's a far better lyricist overall than Hobson. Like here, let me word it like this. Let me show you what I'm getting at here. Very few people in this world do I think rap similar to Lupe Fiasco bar-wise. Jay Electronica says things that I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about to this day. Like, sometimes I'm like, what? Like...
And that's where, like, I mean...
Like, it took me a minute for, like, so many of these bars to even hit on the new single. Because he's like, something like, I'm looking for love with dynamite inside my fishing pole. And I'm like, oh, like, got it. But, like, it took me a minute.
And it's like that's why
I also
it's
love
like
his delivery.
When I remember like he's a Hobson that got more published. Like he should be underground artist, but he got spotlighted.
He managed to,
but he got spotlighted and got a door open.
The Jay-Z cosign was great.
That and then you have features with Kendrick along your career. Like
a lot of people forget Jay Electronica was the last verse on Control.
Like, early in his career, there's somewhere like when he was underground. One door got opened, and he optimized that opportunity. Where like a Hobson underground.
Well, he burnt bridges.
Well, someone burnt bridges.
Jay's never been the guy to diss people in his bars. That's never been his thing.
Well, that's where I can more say like he's more of the underground style, like to where like.
Yeah, like you wouldn't expect.
Like, so like when MGK first came in the game,
you wouldn't expect his style. I mean, like you said, he's more like mainstream relevant than Lupe even, which is fucking crazy.
So, what MGK, 100 Words and Running first mixtape, popular one. Like when he first came in the game, straight fast rap, like Machine Gun. It was Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Then 2 albums later, same thing. Then we got the Black Flag, when he was mainstream. Black Flag, which was like a rock rap. But how I tell you, like, MGK is now wealthy and established enough to do what he wants to do, be a rock star. He knew he had to be a rapper back then to make it, to become wealthy. He knew he had to be a rapper. Hopsin, I feel like, rather than how he disses people and shit back in the day.
I don't know if he still does it. But.
Fair. But I'm saying back in the day when he was rising, he knew he was playing the game of the
he was shock value.
He was getting the most bang for his buck. And
it was shock value.
Exactly.
I was a fan. I went and saw it.
Right. And that's what I mean. Is like,
I still like. There's old Hopsin records you won't see me hate. Like I won't do that.
How MGK has lost some of his original fans with like this new shit because they're like, oh, he's weird now. Like, is he gay?
Got a lot of internet people.
Is he? What is?
He also cheated on Megan Fox.
But you know me as one of MGK's first fans in this area.
You were on that early.
I know.
God, you were on.
I know. Like, no, this is him just being able to express himself how he truly wants to, and always wanted to, but wasn't able to because he wasn't.
At the end of the day, it's doing really well. People say what they will, but it's successful as fuck.
But if he dropped Bloody Valentine as his first album, he's not
reaching my downfall. But yeah,
thank you. He's not reaching number one with that as his first album.
No,
and he'll never plateau.
Never would have. No,
exactly. That's what I mean.
People are like, what the fuck is this?
You have to afford who you can afford to be. Be who you can afford to be.
I could say the same thing about that. If Childish Gambino came out with Awaken My Love first, people would have been like, what in the fuck is this? Whoa. But he did the rap, and then people were like, okay, what is this?
Now he has his platform.
And then he's already got that, like, bias to people where it's like... Oh.
Not even a bias. He has their understanding or respect.
Yeah.
So now,
okay. Like, oh, this is
so with MGK, it's like, be who you can afford to be. Is all right. If Tickets to My Downfall sells 0.
By the way,
if Tickets to My Downfall, when he's like about to drop it, worst case, it sells 0. I'm still multi-millionaire, like in MGK's mind.
Boom.
You see what I'm saying? But if I drop Tickets to My Downfall as my first album, I never become a millionaire. So I have to do this first to be able to do what I want to do. So it's be who you can afford to be.
Yeah.
He had to rap fast to get into the game, and then now he can be Tommy Lee, whoever the fuck you want, like rock star.
Oh God.
Yeah. Literally
the dirt.
That's who his true character is a rock star.
I dig it. You know me. I got the Tickets to My Downfall vinyl too.
I fucking with it. But like, also,
I did want to mention this next new record to you. My buddy Jay. I always refer to him as my buddy. Fuck it, my buddy Jay Skeese. My dude that I'm rooting for big time. Signing to Drumwork Music.
For the viewers, have y'all ever met in person?
Talked to him, but no, I never met him in person.
That's where I'm like, well, you're saying it like you are acquaintances and friendly.
For the sake of it, fucking love Jay Skeese.
You guys are
my Twitter buddy. But I do love Jay Skeese, and seeing this roll out for the album.
That is your buddy.
Seeing him last week come out with, because if you remember, I was talking about Pain Provided Profit with Conway. Fucking phenomenal, 10 out of 10. He announced this week the first single, and he's got the cover art. The record's going to be called Abolished Uncertainties.
Okay.
And love that.
I like it.
Cover art's fucking fire. And the first single that he put out is Bonneville. And honestly sounds like some fucking Joey Badass meets Benny the Butcher type shit. Like fucking slaughter.
What is that? It reminds
It's a fucking great record. By the way, Jay Skeese's storytelling.
What's the song?
Really jumps out on that shit. Love Amityville. Oh,
that's the song I thought of. That is just
kind of has a grimy, like a grime like beat to it.
But when you said that, I was like,
just with a little bit more kick with the drums and shit.
Welcome to
But definitely recommend peeping Jay Skeese. That was so I mentioned the Black drop, the Rory drop, and the J drop. Those are 3 out of 4 of my favorite drops of the week. My 4th is by Doechii featuring Kodak Black. What It Is, parentheses, Block Boy. Doechii's fucking killing it. And I do believe TDE is officially having a great year.
But be unbiased with Kodak's verse, because I know you're a huge Kodak fan.
Oh, Doechii, amazing. But and in fact, I would say
is it
that,
like a Kodak? Is it an actual verse or is it some mumbles?
Let me say this: Kodak.
Just answer that. Is it a verse or Kodak mumbles?
Actual verse.
Okay, that's all I need.
And Kodak, on this case too, it's not like he was needed to save the day. Like the rope wasn't thrown for Kodak to
because some
reel
people,
it in.
When
this was like two type of Doechii threw him an alley.
You could pay for 2 type of Kodak features: an actual feature, or Kodak with ad libs. And like a 16 mumble verse.
This kind of gave me the vibe of when he was on Ronnie Caesar's album last year, because I was like, what the fuck, Kodak? And then like halfway through the record, I'm like, oh shit, he's kind of going. Like, oh, this is when Kodak, that's the shit that made him and Kendrick work together.
Right.
When Kendrick's like, oh fuck, he can do that too. Like,
and I didn't mean it disrespectfully by like, oh, is he mumbling a rap? But like, there's definitely
there's some Kodak features that I like to say the expression, he phoned him in.
It's what you get what you pay for.
Like, it's that shit when you see a no-name guy featuring Kodak and you're like, okay, how's this go?
I'm gonna do this for you and other artists alike. As a listener, you get what you pay for on your song. So if you go to Kodak and say, hey, I want Kodak verse, because people will see his name and just click the song, but I don't have a money or bag for a full Kodak verse, so like, give me some bullshit 16 and drop some ad libs for me. So technically, you're on the song. You get what you pay for.
I will say Kodak's been really killing it on the features.
You get what you agree to and what you pay for.
But like, again, though, I think Doechii sounded better than.
So I've
actually heard Doechii sound probably since that last EP.
What I'm just gonna say is, don't say it as Kodak phoned it in. Is he did what he.
Oh no, this wasn't phoned in.
No, I'm saying for the other one. Like, there's been songs where like you felt Kodak phoned in a verse because it was like, but it's like
not just him. Plenty of artists have been known to phone.
The other artists have only just paid for that, because Kodak will give you a verse.
Also depends on what era you catch Kodak in, because a couple of those early Kodak features, it's like, oh shit. But I think though, for those 4 singles though, again, full bias talking, but 4 for 4, when I saw those come out and I went to go click on them, I'm like, all right,
here we go.
Yeah, and I got to give each of those 5 out of 5s on the singles. Metro Boom. Now this one, love Diddy, fucking love Diddy. All big love. That's major love right there. That's captain of love. So Diddy, who always pops out on the most randomest remixes. God dang it if he didn't do it again. Creepin' remix featuring Diddy. And Diddy gets a verse, and he fucking ad-libs, and does he ad-libs for 21. He gets a verse, and he gives the intro. Like, Metro does, like, his tag, and then Diddy kind of does the whole bad boy intro. Always cracks me up when I see Diddy on a random-ass remix. But he did have bars on it, I can't lie. I know he didn't write a single one of them hoes, but he's got bars on it. I also saw that T-Pain, this is kind of fucking hilarious, but it was actually really good, though. Just funny, though. T-Pain dropped
I actually listened to that.
The Covers album. And I actually got to say, you always forget how he really sounds, but he fucking killed it.
I was about to say,
that's why I saw it,
Stay With Me. I saw it real quick, like on my page, homepage or title or whatever, so I just hit play.
He's celebrating his Sleepless Radio victory.
But I didn't catch on top of the covers. So
yeah.
Like, after like the second song, I was like the first one I was like, oh, okay, dope. Like, it's a great.
Then you hear Don't Stop Believing.
Bro, I literally was like, oh, okay, this is all covers. I was like,
you're like, oh wow, he's really sampling this guy.
I just had my headphone in, so I'm not seeing names or nothing. Like, I was like, oh, he actually killed that shit, low key. Then Don't Stop Believing came on. I'm like, okay. And then like it was Stay With Me when I got
love that one.
5 songs into 8-song album, I realized it was all cover songs. I was like, oh, he's
Love
not doing Stay With Me. I was like, I heard that come on.
Then he did Sinatra's That's Life, and then he ended with War Pigs.
Oh, hold on, time out. He did Tennessee Whiskey, though.
Yeah. He had some crazy.
Yeah, he ended with War Pigs, but
his Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke was crazy. Love that too.
The Tennessee Whiskey, though, I was like, this man really, he is from the South, but like, jeez Louise.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Really just great weekend of drops. John Wild dropped a new single, "Quit Your Job."
Like wild and like not unexpected, but like unique, like T-Pain's.
He's celebrating his Sleepless Radio W.
Like T-Pain, like weird, I wouldn't say, but like unexpected, yeah, I guess. Like for a cover album.
You always forget that man has a great fucking voice without the auto-tune. You don't need it.
No, and that's why like when people
it just enhances the music.
And like when people are like back in the day or hate on him, like, oh, he only used auto-tune. I'm like, he capitalized on y'all being dumb enough just to listen to it. He could.
I think what it was is he's smart enough to realize if I'm gonna I'm in love with a stripper, I don't want to sing this. It's gonna sound better if I auto-tune and sing.
Well, that was
which he's right.
Heard a backstory.
I'd much rather
interview. That song was literally made up, making fun of his friend one morning.
I'm in love with a stripper?
Yeah, because they went to a strip club and his friend
fell in love.
Hey, probably all have a story like that of a friend or whatever.
And like Buy You a Drink's another one. Like I don't want to hear him sing Buy You a Drink with no auto-tune. I want the full package. I want the music. I'm not mad if I hear him sing it without auto-tune, but I do think the record sounds better.
But that's only because we heard it with auto-tune. If we would have heard it,
in general,
if we would have heard it the first time, no auto-tune, if auto-tune wasn't around, I'm saying, and then I look at it this way though, with auto-tune now, you'd be like,
have you seen his Tiny Desk show? So on the Tiny Desk show, he did Bartender, and he did Bartender and Buy You a Drink, both like no auto-tune. Right. They sounded great. They did. They sounded amazing. But I'd much rather hear those with that
because you've already heard it with those enhancements. So I'm saying, like, if we could go back in time,
and you hear
before he dropped it, if he never used autotune, people would actually.
That kind of goes hand in hand with how covers work sometimes too.
But like I'm saying, people wouldn't have that. People wouldn't have that argument against him of like, oh, he only used autotune. Like, no, he never needed it. He just did it because
he debuted with it.
And it was dope, and like people fucked with it heavy. So
it was brand fucking new.
And if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. So like, but like people saying like he needed it. No, he definitely.
Tell you what, anybody that tries to say T-Pain can't sing now, I'm sending them the link to Stay With Me. That's what I'm doing.
And Tennessee Whiskey.
Yeah, because you tell me he can't sing. You go listen to how many tracks was it? 8. Yeah, you go listen to those 8 tracks, and you tell me he can't sing.
Because like. Yeah, literally.
No way you can. No way you can do that. T-Pain is way.
That's what I mean. Is like he just capitalized off of something that was.
And he's a great songwriter.
It was innovative, but like I'm saying, like an artist, all right, he could go to a studio, say he was belligerent drunk. If he's halfway coherent and makes it through, auto-tune can make the rest sound great.
That's also
true. But if
true.
you don't, if you're an artist without auto-tune. You cannot show up incoherent at all because you don't have anything to cover that little slip or lisp, like, or a little extra,
or extra breathing because you're not really as focused as you.
So I'm not saying I'm not saying he was in the studio all the way fucked up, but I'm saying like
he could have fun in the studio and not have to worry about
he probably has 3,000 songs of bullshit because he was fucked up, but on auto he was like. Fuck it, let's do it on auto-tune.
Like that is a good point. Especially that OG shit. The other drop that came out, John Wild. Love John Wild. He dropped Quit Your Job. Love that single. R.I.P. Lil Keed. Keed talked to him too. He dropped 20 track album. Thank You Lord actually brought a thug tear to my eye. And
R.I.P. threw me off because I feel like he just probably not even 25.
Yeah, that was a sad one. That was one of Young Thug's younger ones. Understudies, I guess you could say, under his wing. And all I want to know, that back to back between Thug and Keed, it doesn't sound like, which chorus here, doesn't sound like that was recorded with them both in the studio at the same time. But the verses that they put on that were oddly eerie because it's like everything that's coming out with Thug added up, right, and everything that happened to Keed added up. And
it might sound,
I can tell that's the one that they're riding with the most.
So like,
also Big Sean gave him a hell of a feature.
You can kind of tell when not necessarily if they're in the same studio together recording. Obviously, you can't really tell that on a song.
Yeah, I mean it sounded spliced,
but not even. Well, that's just poor. Not say poor editing, but like that's on the engineer. But for like, because they're always going to be spliced somewhere.
Maybe,
but you know what I mean. There's always
probably bad wording.
I know what you meant. Like it sounded a little off, but where like where they both sound eerie is because they're recorded in the same time frame, like same month or something. So like they were both in that same energy and mood, whether they were in the same room or not. They both had some type of feeling at the same time. So when the engineer sent him to beat and sent him to beat,
you know what?
They were both in that same.
Real quick, I wanted to mention something when I noticed I said R.I.P. to Lil Key, and you were like, "Damn, I forgot." Like that literally makes me so sad. Like to stop on that for 1 second. The fact that when I went to the new music, I was like, "Oh, the new Keed album," and then I was like, "Oh, I forgot." And then I'm like,
he doesn't get to enjoy his drop.
I'm like, this fucking happens so fucking much. Like.
I was
damn. I'm like, this happens so fucking much.
Talking with my coworker because unfortunately he
like damn, like it's happening so often we're forgetting.
Like numb to it. Like
we're literally forgetting. Like, oh, this guy just died last year. Like
because my coworker, his son is 8 or 9, and they got a pet cat. It's like 13.
You know what the saddest part is too?
Huh?
Don't even remember what he passed away of. I mean that with complete respect. Do not remember what he passed away of. It's happening so much, I'm losing track of what's happening.
That's what I was about to say.
And I mean that with the utmost respect. But also, I did want to say this. I never was, I got to watch my wording. I was never like a big Keed guy. Always had respect for him. Always liked seeing him on features and stuff. But the new album, I saved Hottest with Big Sean. I saved the one with Thugger. I saved Thank You, Lord, the outro. And saved Hitman.
How many songs total?
20 tracks. And I listened to it all at work, and I will give him this one. This is coming from somebody that's not even what I would call the target demo.
Before you answer,
I thought it was a solid project.
Okay, perfect answer because I was gonna. Do you wish that since it is posthumous now, do you wish maybe this was like a 12-song album, and then maybe they added another few songs to the album in another year, rather than dropping 20 right now? Like.
What you said, yeah.
Because it's like Pop Smoke thing. Right? Like,
you run out.
If you're that young, like, you don't think of, like, having a vault for after you, like, he was 20, Pop Smoke. Like,
he didn't have much.
Yeah, same with Keed. Like, now Lil Wayne, I know that, like, 50 years old now. Whatever,
you'd have music for 100
years. And
he's
telling interviewers, like, there was nights I was putting 40 songs in the vault.
You're stacking them bitches.
But like and that's like okay, out of those 40, 20 are probably album worthy. 10 are good for a mixtape, and 10 are him on lean. Just what's that fourth word? What's this? Like 10 don't make the cut, but they're in the vault. 10 make it for mixtapes. 20 are good enough for album. Out of 40 songs.
That's a good way to put it.
So it's not like he's.
The other new music that dropped, we got the new ESTG album, which I did hear that all. Now, I will speak on that one.
Okay.
You notice anything? Heard the whole thing. Didn't add not one of them. Not a one.
Okay, that's fair.
And I like ESTG, but really do hate. You know what? Let me not make it sound like I'm hating. Love ESTG.
No,
super
you're just
dope.
Being fair.
I was listening.
You're not hating when you're giving a fair assessment of your opinion on someone's project. That's not you hating. That's like
with all respect, I did not fuck with that shit at all.
This isn't me coming at you. This is me coming at society. If I give you my opinion on a certain topic at the
I'm
time.
not a hater. I'm just telling you how I see it.
Like
And I'm a fucking fan.
With
but-
the Guardians. I think they caved into peer pressure for changing their name. Still love the Indians and Guardians. Have them tatted on me. Will be with me forever. I'm a Cleveland fan. But, like, we were also one of the first professional baseball team with a Native American player, which is why they went to the Cleveland Indians. So just look up the history first before y'all in society just start cancel culture shit. Because they made it that name to honor someone. Granted, Indian isn't the technical right
I don't want
term.
to get too into that, but
I have Cherokee blood in me.
I don't want to get too far into the Indians Guardians debate. That's
what I'm saying is
Guardians.
Me too. But just because at the time I didn't like their change, I didn't care what the name was going to be. I didn't think we needed to change the name.
But no,
that's all I'm saying.
To close on the new music though, I do think it was a great drop for the week. Great drops for the weekend.
Go check out Miley. Go check out his buddy. What's his name?
Jay Skeese.
Go check out Jay Skeese. He got 4 bangers.
Hell yeah, Rory. Jay Electronica feature. Fucking lot of great shit that came out this weekend. Doechii with Kodak. You get to hear Kodak bar out.
Oh, you had a question for music for me.
Oh, let's do it.
I actually just remembered.
All right, so this is great. So I'm glad that you remembered it as well. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing one gotta goes where you guys give me a one gotta go and I pick. So I have a one gotta go for Snuka. And this is 2 of his favorites. And I thought it was great when I thought about it because a record came on at work and I was like, I think this would be a great one for my co-host. One gotta go, Nick. You're moving to an island.
Right.
You get to hear one album, the other one you're never going to hear again.
Right.
The documentary or the massacre, which one do you pick? One's got to go.
I'm keeping the massacre.
You're keeping the massacre?
Yeah. And
is a tear in your eye as you watch documentary
No.
Leave on a Lifeboat?
No, honestly.
You can part with it? You're okay?
Yeah, and especially even easier like the last 5 years with how the game has just been very disrespectful to Eminem, 50 Cent, Dre. Like, so it's like, if you go look at the documentary.
I guess I didn't factor that in when I.
But I didn't take that into consideration. But I still think Massacre is a better album and has better. Its replay value for me is way better.
Let me reword this one then. Let me have fun.
Okay.
One gotta go. On an Island, another one you're never gonna hear again. Massacre versus the Carter 3. One's gotta go.
Okay, before I answer that one though, back to the documentary, real quick because I have to.
You seemed like you answered that easy. That's why I wanted to give you.
Yeah, that's why. Because of my answer for why is, if you go look at the documentary,
rub you the wrong way.
No, if you go look at the documentary, the 3 biggest songs, probably West Side Story featuring 50 Cent, Hate It or Love It, Platinum with 50 Cent, How We Do with 50 Cent, and then We Ain't with Eminem. So it's like, take those 4 songs away because now you completely disrespect these men. Okay, so these aren't. And technically,
scratch the Wayne one. I got a better one for you, I think.
Technically, 50 put on a G-Unit remix of Hate It or Love It on the Massacre, so I still get to listen to it.
It's a good point.
And it's like,
the
game ain't shit without Eminem or 50 Cent. So like, him just. Documentary was a great release album for you.
I got a 51 for you because I feel like the Massacre versus the Carter 3 is just, I don't know. That seems nasty. I don't like putting those 2 against each other. It just seems weird. So I'm going to do this one. Gonna raise the stakes big time on you for your one gotta go. Make you really think. Get Rich or Die Trying. Or the Eminem Show. One's gotta go.
I gotta look up Eminem Show real quick.
I hope I picked the Eminem album that I think is your favorite. It was between this or the Marshall Mathers LP. Whichever one of those 2 albums makes this question harder, go with that. Personally, I would take Get Rich or Die Trying over M's catalog. But
I think that's where I would go as well. Over Get Rich over.
Is that tougher than the Massacre versus the Carter 3?
Yeah. Yes.
Massacre versus the Carter 3, what would you have taken?
Massacre.
Really?
Yeah. The replay, like.
That shows me how much you love that album, truthfully.
But like it's how well of an album it is. Like, well, if you play it, it's like.
So Get Rich versus the Eminem show, you said you would lean towards 50.
The lowest rated song I'll give on the Massacre is like 7.5.
What's the lowest you give Get Rich?
Probably like an 8. Like, and that's like the worst song on the thing. But like, even if the song's not your cup of tea, you gotta like, damn, he's got bars in there. Damn, his flow's nice. But like,
would the question be any harder? And then I'll finally get off of One Gotta Go for this week. Get Rich or Die Trying versus the Massacre.
That's the
hardest one?
Yeah.
All right. So you're on an island.
And
you only get one album. The other album you're never gonna hear again for the rest of your life. Not a record on it. Get Rich or Die Trying versus the Massacre. You're in the hot seat. One's gotta go. What are you taking to your island?
Probably Get Rich or Die Trying.
That's fine too. I would pick that easy.
But it's like with the Massacre, it's like, Get Rich or Die Trying. It's like banger, 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 banger.
Just massive, massive banger.
Right. Massacre is like banger, 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 7.5, banger, banger, 8, banger, 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 banger.
Right.
To where the documentary was good. 50.
Yeah, you can look at that Get Rich or Die Trying track list to this day.
Sorry,
battery was low.
Oh,
we got the UFC fights on in the background. He's just got to plug in the life alert to his laptop. Battery was running low and it crashed.
Where am I plugging her in?
Oh, you need an outlet?
Yeah.
Right there. Unplug the charger with the white cube.
I got you.
But
no, I didn't realize I fucked up.
Should be good. I should have mentioned it too when I saw the battery was running low.
No.
But so I will pivot into the next one I was going to bring up. So for your One Gotta Go, you said Get Rich over Massacre.
Yes,
but
Get
it's
Rich or Die
tough.
Trying. That's the hardest.
So
get rid of one.
Let's talk about a name that usually comes up on this pod. I feel like it comes up on many podcasts as well.
Okay.
Let's mention Drake. We got two things to talk about Drake this week. One's really quick though. So Drake got beat by Morgan Wallen for most Billboard hits on the Hot 100 consecutively at one time. Morgan Wallen put up 36 and beat out Drake's 28. What do you think about that?
Wait, what? Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen on his 36-track album
Uh-huh.
charted on all 36 songs on the Billboard Hot 100.
That's wild.
Beating Drake's record of 28.
That's really crazy.
Of all people to beat Drake's record, it's Morgan fucking Wallen. But I did hear that album. It's pop country. I would call it that pop country stuff. But he can sing fucking great. The records are great. Very well wrote. I mean, hey, round of applause for Morgan Wallen to beat Drake. And Drake took it very humbly. I saw his post on Instagram. He was like, oh, at least it wasn't a rapper. Like, if I'm going to lose, nobody in my field beat me. So, like, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
And
it is Morgan fucking, like,
he's a monster right now.
He's on his shit right now.
Yeah, the dude's on fire. Literally, the dude's on fire. I mean, out of the top 10, he occupies like 7 of the slots. He's got like 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. It's like
he on his shit right now. Sorry, guys.
Oh, shit.
Technical difficulties in the back.
No, you all good. You got it up going quick. Then the other thing I wanted to mention, Drake and 21's outrageous ticket prices.
Okay, I didn't see the prices technically.
Oh, dear.
I only saw that.
You know what? I'm actually glad you said that because I get your initial reaction now.
So, real quick, though. Was it Adele or Beyonce just, like, went on tour not, like, a year ago or something?
What are you talking about?
There was, like, Beyonce or Adele had, like...
Beyonce.
And her ticket prices were also, like...
This makes Beyonce look like you're going to a grog shop show.
So, for...
What I'm about to tell you price-wise...
A decent ticket price. Don't give me, like, best ticket front row. Give me, like... You know what I mean. Like,
give me...
Average sitting...
Just standing in the middle, like where we were for Jay-Z.
Right, yeah.
You'd be paying somewhere between the range of $2,000 to $4,000. A seat.
Right.
A ticket. That's where we're at right now. When they first came out on the pre-sales, they weren't too outrageous. But I mean by too outrageous is not that level of outrageous.
It was probably like 15 to 2 rather than.
I'm starting to get a reoccurring theme out of these concert tickets now because I think I see what's happening. And it's starting to make sense on why artists are selling their catalogs. I'm starting to understand this a little bit more. Hear me out. Let me rant. Let me go. Let me cook for a second.
Real quick is like, yeah, that's a lot of money, but at the same time, like,
hear me out. I think I get it. I think I pieced this one. I was
expecting more.
Here's how I look at it.
And that's fucked up for me to say, but like,
I think that concert tickets, and I'll lead with this, are starting to become luxury ticket items. And what I mean by that, hear me out. So
I can,
and I'm seeing it with like the Wayne price. I'm seeing it with like the Mayer prices. I'm seeing it with certain prices, and I think here's why though, and it makes sense as to why artists are selling their catalogs. The fact of the matter is, just streaming your music is making less than it ever has in the entire existence of the music industry. So I think they're selling their catalogs to make what they can and squeeze every last cent out of the music. And then when they're going on tour now, they're upping the fucking ticket prices and shit because they want to make up for the back end that they didn't get off the music.
Shout out J. Cole, 1985. I'm going to give you a tip. Don't ever stop touring because that's how we make money in this music shit. That's nice. You got all those fancy whips and fancy jewelry. Can you buy your mama's house?
Yeah.
Like, but what happens when people stop?
But no, after seeing these ticket prices, I get it. You know, he's got to pay for his gambling addiction. He's got to pay for all the flights to Turks. That's a lot of Air Drake fuel. He's got to get there one way or another.
Not even. What's the cheapest Drake ticket? Or like 500, 800?
If you want to stand all the way fuck up in the bleeds, it's like $400.
Okay, so
if you want to hang from the ceiling,
his cheapest Drake 400. Wayne, where are they at? So the closest
Drake and 21. Okay, they're going to be at Ford Field.
So they're going stadiums.
Yes.
That's
Which crazy. He said that on the album. He's like, they're selling out the stadiums.
Yeah. Which is rightfully so. Those two names.
Like I saw him and 21 are doing 2 nights at SoFi. That's also the other thing. They're doing 2 nights in every city.
You have
2 nights at Ford, 2 nights in SoFi, 2 nights at Raymond James.
For a stadium price, you have to.
They're even going overseas and doing 2 nights at Wembley. That's 90,000 people.
So I'm like House of Blues.
Now that's where Wayne's coming. That's where me and Dan are going.
Right.
Balcony of that was $1,200 piece.
And the cheapest tickets were like 2. Yeah, no, they were because I was literally forgot my fucking credit card at home, debit card, whatever you want. Forgot my payment source at home. Literally, the reason I set up Apple Pay the next day. Fucking was in line, like pre-line, waiting to I was just want to see how much the tickets were. They weren't telling you got to wait in line. I was like, all right, whatever. Waited in line, blah blah. My turn. See it. Literally was waiting for Vince's confirmation of if he was down to go or not. Was gonna buy them. And I was run out to my car while I'm at work, middle of the oil change, fuck it. Where's my wallet? Fuck. Text Vince, I'll send you the money now. Just go get in line. Go get in line, blah, blah, blah. And it'll load you into a queue. He's like, all right. He did it 6 minutes after, literally pretty shortly after I texted him, he read it and got on it. Sold out. And I was like, I was hurt. But it was I want to say they were $175 a piece before ticket fee, tag.
My bad on that cig. I'm gonna pick it up in 1 minute.
I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
I saw how it was blowing, and I'm like, why is it a magnet to you? Smoke is literally a magnet.
I have so much good aura.
But
anything bad.
No, Drake and 21 though, they really are waxing and taxing, dog. They're waxing and taxing, I think.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's gonna be a great show though.
Devil's advocate. Wildly outrageous.
Let me also
Devil's advocate. Drake once in a lifetime.
Since you're doing Devil's advocate, I do want you to know how the lineup looks. It goes 21, then it goes Drake, and then 21 comes back out and they do Her Loss top to bottom.
So I mean, you're getting a 2.5 hour show easily from just them. without a DJ or something before.
Actually, I like that because you're probably getting an hour from Savage, an hour and a half from Drake.
I'm going
and then it's her
45,
loss.
45, and then an hour.
To do all of her loss.
Yeah.
They could have some fun with it too, like on Spin About You. They could do the thing where
And
they
like
kind of glide
have a
into the
little
crowd,
like stop 5-minute talk with the crowd, like
get the crowd going crazy.
not
like,
5
holy
minutes,
shit,
but
we
like,
got them both
not
out
5
here.
minutes, but like.
And you already know they're gonna have fun with the
But
21. Can you do something?
Drake
for me?
is like a Michael Jackson of our era type celebrity.
When that stage, when he hits that stage, the crowd is going nuts.
He's a once in a generation entertainer. So like, you're paying not even just for the show you're about to get. You're paying because I knew I almost got a meet and greet.
And Drake, by the way, Drake's new intro, because I saw on the trailer, he showed how he came out at the pop-up show with him in 21, which I think is another reason why they announced the tour, because that pop-up show was fucking crazy.
He don't need tour money. Drake has so many side, like, and he's doing that because he knows his worth.
So 21, before he came out, I just thought this was a really, I love classy, cool intros. So when 21 came out, this dagger blimp came up from behind the stage, and you just see this giant dagger blimp go into the air, and then 21 walks out through this like red smoke. When Drake comes out, there's like 21 walks off, like you said, there's like a 5-minute, like, okay, people are using the bathroom.
Switch, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you just hear 666. You hear that 666. You know, not to summon the devil here.
The DJ cut.
Yeah, and you just see that owl go up, and he hasn't even touched the stage yet, right? That owl head just peeks up over the stage. The crowd foams up, and he comes walking through that blue smoke back. Well, he first is just standing there. When the blue smoke like kind of starts to fade away, it fades away. I don't know how. This just shows you he's a fucking light-skinned angel. When the smoke fades away, it fades into a 6, and he turns around and looks at the crowd. When I saw the smoke turn into a 6, I was like, what can he do?
That's like
he just pulled this off in the middle of a crazy wind. Like
that's just technology on your ass.
Oh shit!
Because there's probably like it would be like a little like fiber optic like lasers.
Dude,
like,
can you imagine? I'm sorry, my fan is going crazy. SoFi Stadium, the owl goes up. Like, oh my god!
But that's what I mean. It's like 400, obviously cheapest ticket, but like the show you're paying for an immaculate show. Like Jay-Z, one of the best performances or shows I've seen.
Yeah.
MGK,
one of the public service announcement start. I'll never forget that.
MGK is the best
shout out to the good boys at Rockefeller Records.
MGK is the best entertainer I've seen on stage.
Please.
This man was at House of Blues climbing upside down, hanging from the balcony and hanging.
I went back for a minute.
But MGK, like, he's the best entertainer on stage. Like, he was at House of Blues. He was hanging upside down, literally from like light shits, and like security was like.
I will give,
but like
credit
it wasn't
to Travis
playing,
Scott when I saw him that show.
Because like you literally saw security looking at each other like
we don't know what to do,
and they like went under him in case he like was about to fall.
That was like when Travis Scott told us to storm the stage at Jacobs Pavilion,
and basically there was a 8-minute intermission after that song happened. After he
they had to figure that shit out.
He went backstage, comes back out, he's like, yeah, so I wasn't changing clothes or nothing. They were just telling me I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I'm not allowed to, blah, blah, blah. If you guys want to spark up right now, that'd be a great time. I'm about to, because that just killed my vibe. Blah, blah, but we're about to get back to show, and literally like 10 minutes later, he climbed something else.
Shout out to Drake and 21, though. Should be a great show. If you got tickets, let us know how the show was.
If you got some spare money, send it to us so we can go see it.
Yeah, for real. Damn.
If y'all want to fund us to go see it so we can give you our view and our opinion, we will cordially do that and willingly.
Send us your tickets. Yeah, I like that idea. Send us your tickets.
Don't send us your tickets. We'll go with you. We'll meet you there. Just give us our own tickets.
Yeah.
Send us tickets and we'll meet you there.
That's an invitation. Yeah. If anybody wants to get 4 tickets to Drake and 21, we will come with you guys, and then we'll include you on the pod and we can all talk about it. Speaking of pods, No Jumper coming to an end. Rut-row. Adam 22. No Jumper.
I don't really.
Well, you don't really fuck with him?
I don't like how he goes about.
Do you like what just got him canceled? Also,
I didn't even
his
really
whole crew
see
left.
shit because I didn't. I know like tidbits, if that makes sense.
Well, here's what it is. Lil Pump ended up coming out and confirming it because there was like speculation and they couldn't really prove it. And Lil Pump was like, no, he did that shit on the tour. Adam 22 was sleeping with 15 and 16-year-old girls.
This is the dude with all the neck tats and
Yep.
like, okay, I mean,
Bald dude. Looks like a Nazi.
not even that.
Looks like somebody that would get mad at you in a bar and then tip your motorcycle over when he goes outside.
Looks like a predator.
Yeah.
Looks like a dude
He's got that look.
would scheme his way.
Yeah.
That's
That's a good way to put it.
because like
I was never really a big fan. I liked some of his interviews. Like
he's
his
the type
interview
of
with
dude
X
that,
was cool.
He's the type of dude that would be at a restaurant, not even a bar. Restaurant, 2 tables, seats. Like it's couples dining. He sees you with your girl, but you go to the bathroom. He'll be the one that comes up with a bottle of wine right then and be like,
He's
"Oh,
the
how you
type of
doing?" It's
dude
like,
that if you told him not to wear shoes in your house, that before he'd go to leave, he'd make sure to put 1 foot off the mat and scuff your floor.
or to like take it. Not even. He's not even that smart to do that. He'd be the one that would come in and be like, "Oh, take your shoes off." Like, all right, but take 2 extra steps to take them off and get off of the floor mat.
He looks like a guy that goes to a party and makes 3 pictures in the house crooked. Like,
I mean, to be honest, like I don't know how he got his fame or what. Like, I want to know, like,
that's actually not a bad question. I
Because,
know
like-
he owned that shop on Melrose.
but it could have been like
He owned a bike shop is where this pretty much all started.
so he could have,
And not like a motorcycle shop either, like a bicycle shop.
so like he'd be interviewing like hip hop people, like, so it's like
I don't know where that started.
so
I'll be
did
honest,
someone
I
come
don't
and buy
know
a
where that started.
bicycle and y'all were talking and hit it off, and like back in the day, oh, Lupe bought a bike from you, so y'all interviewed him and this is how it started. That's what I want to know.
I know he
That's
tended to
what I wanna
start.
know. What was your door into this interviewing world of hip hop?
He did
like-
start with people like X and Ski Mask and Trippie Redd, like guys like that. And then he became the
Hold
guy
on,
too.
can I
Like
ref-
he's also interviewed
can I
porn
s-
stars.
Well,
Like I've seen that before.
yeah.
Like he interviewed Riley Reid.
that's more recent when he's more popular. So when he was first starting,
Well, it's done now.
I
The
understand.
whole crew walked off.
But I'm saying, like, I want to know is like, did your friend of a friend know somebody and you want to do like how we're doing a podcast now? Say one of my friends that we know,
You do have a good question. How the fuck did he
but
get?
say out of the blue, one of my friends who I don't ask favors for, but you know, we both know he's an professional.
Oh, yeah,
athlete.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying a name or
I
nothing.
know who you're talking about.
Out of the blue, he hits me up. I want to come on your show. That would be like that episode could be like,
Like interviewing him and be like, oh wow.
but that
And
one
gain
could be
into,
like,
interviewing.
and a bunch of people on YouTube
sports
might
guy.
just go watch that just because it's him. Like,
So that would be great.
so that would be like our boom. You know what I mean? What was this dude's boom? Like, how did you?
that's a good one. I don't know.
That's what I mean. Is like because he's
The farthest
he
I
did-
go back was that X interview,
He
and
did-
I know
but
that
he
he
did-
hadn't been going that long.
I didn't really ever like his shit because he always just gave me like a little fuckboy.
He
energy.
gave me Vlad TV vibes.
Yes.
Like very much Vlad TV
Like,
vibes.
it's
Like
like-
his questions always come off like even Soldier
Kinda-
Boy.
not even, like,
Soldier Boy in the one
condescending,
interview
but,
when
like-
he was like asking him, he's like, "That's an open case." And then like 20 minutes later, Adam 22 tried to bring it back up, and Soldier Boy's like, "Man,
I will
like,
leave.
Like I can't talk about that. Like I don't know what you want me to do." Like,
it's like the ignorance part of like, you know, it's an open case. Okay, you
we're
ask,
on fucking camera right now.
but it's like the first time you ask the question, it's like, let's see. As an interviewer, it's like, let's push the line. Let's see.
you only do it once. Like,
That's what I mean.
at
It's
the
like,
very most.
then you know. So now it's
And you word it a certain way too. Like, hey,
so
we
now
all
it's-
know there's an elephant in the room. Do you want to talk about it or not?
So now the
Like-
second time you did it, now you're being disrespectful and ignorant to me.
Yeah, because now I've already told you I'm not talking about it, and you're
So
still,
what? You think
like-
I'm stupid and I'm gonna slip up?
And you know Draco ain't taking that shit. Big Daddy Draco ain't taking that shit.
He'll be the first one to let you know.
He was the first one. He was the first one to ever interview anybody. That's Soulja Boy. He was the first person to ever interview anybody. First person to ever get interviewed. First rapper to ever drop a mixtape.
First one to wear
rapper-
shoes,
First one to ever walk.
put 2 socks on.
Oh.
I don't know.
Everybody was
I did it first.
everybody was putting on one sock, and he said, "Hey."
Hey, but like I said, how how people find a way to capitalize on moments. Soldiers Boys, I did a first thing.
Oh, classic.
But immediately a hit
Absolutely
on social
classic.
media whenever he could be capping out his ass. Like,
God, yeah.
Sometimes it's true.
The game system thing was fucking hilarious.
Well, he was the first rapper with a game system, but that shit never. He was the first rapper with a game system. It never came to fruition, but he did have a copyright for that.
Hey, somebody got a console out there.
No, I'm pretty sure he got a lawsuit out of that. I think, but like some things he's truthful about, but like sometimes when he comes into social media randomly, like, oh, now people go listen to Kiss. He always
has valid points.
Now people go listen to.
He always has valid points. So another funny thing, well, I got a smile on my face laughing at this shit. Meek tried to sell his fucking house on Instagram. I can't, for some reason, get over it. I find that shit so fucking funny. Because Meek Mill just be doing the funniest fucking shit sometimes. He's like, my realtor can't sell it. He's like, I've been trying to sell this house for 4 months. He's like, maybe I can do it on here.
And then he
posted the house.
But then he thought about it. He's like,
and then he did the walkthrough. The walkthrough cracked me up. He opened up the bedroom. He's like, oh, I forgot to clean up in here. He's like,
just pretend it's clean.
Yeah.
But like, he was like, shit, my realtor can't sell this bitch. And I'm going to have to give my realtor probably 12% cut of them to sell.
He's like, I'm selling this.
I'll do this shit myself. Instagram, who want to buy this bitch?
Yeah.
That's my laundry room. Oh, don't look at my drawers. Don't look at my drawers.
He's like walking upstairs. He's like, low battery. He's like, what? Low battery. He's like, it's okay, y'all. We got 10%.
We got 10%.
And then, like, he's getting ready to wrap the video. He's like, all right, I'm pretty sure my phone's about to die. He's like, hit my DM if you got any offers. Then, like, an hour later, he's like, all right, let me make this clear. Only DM me if you have serious offers.
I was about to say, he has to.
Like, because he probably saw a whole bunch of DMs. Because he opened his DM. And it's like, oh, shit, here comes the floods.
It's hilarious that...
I even sent a song link.
You capitalize on opportunities. Smart. I laughed at when you said hit my DM with if you have any offers. I literally laughed in my head because I was about to say he should have said only serious offers, and then before I could even say it, you were like, and then he had to say only serious offers because it's like people are like, I got $12 for you. I got 2 packs of Swishes and a 40.
That's like, kind of what I said.
But that's a legit offer technically.
I was like, you got my next check, and we'll do a collab.
You don't know how much you work. That next check could be all OT.
Now we're talking.
Hey, think about it. And a collab, bro. He could make $1 million off that song with you. That's $1 million.
Think about it, Meek. The beat's free.
But the time I put in on that shift isn't.
So you got to put me in that house. No rent. No rent.
Just pay the rent for a year. So I can live for a year free.
You don't even need to turn the water on yet. Let me just move in that bitch.
See, watch this. This is how. Remember, I'm a business.
You think it's gonna work? You think he's gonna sell?
This is why I'm gonna hit his DMs. Be like, all right, business proposition.
You're gonna get Meek's house.
Business proposition. Meek. I'm gonna get you your house. I'm gonna get it above what you want. Asking price. I'm gonna need to live there. Utilities already paid. Give me 3 months. I just want. This is mine. I just want to be honest.
If you got Meek's house, that'd be fucking best.
Meek, I'm gonna keep it real. I just want to experience your house for 3 months. But while I'm there,
let me get a taste of the good life.
I have to understand what I'm dealing with to be able to sell it the best I can. I have to know my product to be able to sell it. So while I'm there, I'm learning about the culture, learning about the house, the environment.
See if the smoke detectors work.
And then I'm gonna find a lick for us, Meek. I'm gonna get you more than you were even asking for.
Hey, Tyga has a nasty fetish for Meek's sloppy seconds, so I feel like he'd love to move in there with Avril.
But then
Liam Hemsworth will be banging on the back slider.
Then the icing on the cake.
No, it wasn't. Who was that? It wasn't Liam Hemsworth.
But the icing on the cake is I don't even want any of your.
Mod's son will be banging on the back slider, and he was with Avril.
So, but this is what Meek is really why he'll accept it. It's because I'm gonna hit him with and for the payment, I only want $100K this time, but I want to be your future realtor.
Oh, you'll be Meek's realtor from that point.
But for actual realtor price from there on. But that first one, I only need $100K.
I already know he's moving to Miami. That dude talks about Miami all the fucking time.
He already has a penthouse in Miami. The fuck? Like,
hey, I'm a Meek fan.
I mean, Miami is a great city, though.
When Meek lost to Big Sean, I was hurt. I thought for sure I had more respect on Meek than that. So I do want to get into sports.
Okay.
A little bit of the March Madness. I saw that nobody's bracket is perfect anymore. That's what somebody. That's
well,
what
there was, I forget, was it Arizona or something lost in the first round? Like
Arizona lost to, I believe it was Princeton, and then Purdue lost yesterday.
Yeah, and Arizona was like a huge upset though. Like,
yeah, no, that was crazy. That was crazy. The Princeton upset was crazy.
Hey,
I love seeing good upsets. A lot of them happened in the first round.
Given day.
In March Madness, that's how it goes.
In sports, any given day.
Princeton beating Arizona is foul. That's crazy.
They came out. That day was their day.
As you know,
but what's gonna suck?
March Madness isn't my main forte, but I am excited to see where it goes.
What's gonna hurt more though is like Arizona team if they lost to Princeton or whatever.
Yeah.
If Princeton like next game gets blown out by like 40,
which is crazy.
So it's like literally like Princeton. Literally, it was that day. It was just their day.
They played better basketball on that day.
So like, there's been times you go 10 for 10 from the three, and like I'll pass it to you, and like I don't want to shoot. I'm like, you better fucking shoot that shit. Like you ain't missing. Like I miss. But then there's some days you're 0 for 9, and it's like,
let's just call it what it was. 9 out of 10 of the days we'd go out there on that blacktop, and I would.
If you were
basically suck, I was out there to facilitate the ball, and that was it.
But if you were on my team, I always
and
knew,
I would try to get a couple shots in.
I always knew though. I always knew there was a chance of the flick of a flame turning into the flame. So
there was something there.
I always gave Luke. I was like, no, just keep fucking shooting because if he hits 2 in a row, it's probably gonna become 6. Like, so just put him up, and he would just as soon as he catches, he doesn't even look at the rim. That was the best part. It was catch, shoot.
I'll never forget too that infamous shot at Morton where I'm fucking falling.
You should be the picture definition of catch and shoot.
And you actually said it out loud, and it was, trust me, I remember it because it was one of my top 3 only favorite basketball memories that I had. Was I'm falling out of bounds. Kyron's got the nastiest defense on me. I'm falling out of bounds, and I like launch it from my right hand. And Kyron, who like hadn't played with me much of the time, was like, what in the Jesus fuck? Like, how is that possible? And you just said, Kyron, you're in for a day because it's one of those days he's going to have it. Like, he's going to have it once in a while. And then, like, it'd be like 2 shots later, Kyron, same thing, and I'm just launching the bitch.
If you imagine, like,
it's
imagine Dirk fadeaway, but a Sean Marion fucking release.
That's the best way to explain it. It was literally like a.
That's how he shoots. It's just like
my fadeaway just
doesn't look good. It doesn't look good to the eye.
Oh, the form's not pretty,
but it works. So it's like for him, works for him. Y'all don't try it.
No, don't you try it. It comes with years of embarrassment, so I don't recommend it either. But it got the job done.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about in sports, which I got to say, the City Boys, we took a W on this one, my man. Michael Irvin, not guilty. The evidence came out clearly in the visual. Yeah. He never laid a hand on that woman. Yep. That woman was talking nuts.
And now he should.
From day one, everybody was going crazy about that, though, calling him a liar and shit. Michael said, look, I did it in a hotel lobby. There is footage. Wait till it comes out. That's all he said the whole time.
Super Bowl week. Like, okay,
she talked to him first. It clearly shows in the video. She literally taps him on the shoulder, and he has to turn around and talk to her. She started the conversation.
Correct.
Originally, she said that he came up to her and fucking cornered her.
Regular hotels have cameras that normally in a.
That bitch wasn't thinking.
But I'm saying, like, average hotel has a plethora.
The city girls are mad at her.
They have a plethora of cameras. Now we're talking a hotel during
a fucking lobby
during Super Bowl week. So now there's 10 times the amount of people. So like, how many more witnesses there are? B, how many more like media personnel? So like literal actual cameras. Like, oh, let's try to get an interview with Michael Irvin.
Which I'm glad they ended up releasing the stuff that came out.
So it's like you got like security from hotels, people's cell phones, big ass fucking television cameras.
Did you hear what the guy at the door said? The guy at the door said, he goes, I noticed that it was Michael.
Probably harassing him, trying to talk to him, and he was trying to ignore her. Well, tried to walk away.
His words, he said, if he ever laid a hand on her, I didn't see it, and she never looked like she was like
in distress.
Yeah. He goes, and I didn't see it. And he goes, I pretty much watched the whole thing unfold. He's like,
Yeah.
he was trying to walk up the stairs. She taps him on the back. He turns around and he was locked into a conversation.
Kept him. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Yeah. And then it came out that she said he tried to corner me.
I hope that he's able to pursue his $100 million lawsuit against her.
Yeah, and they had to suspend him from the show during all this just in case it was some. Which you know what?
But because of all that is why he did such a huge million. Because $100 million lawsuit is a huge fucking number. But all that media time and TV time he lost during a Super Bowl week cost him tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, so he's got to get that back.
So it's like, and you lied about my name. So now it's defamation too. So
he's probably like, damn it, bitch, that's what I get. I shouldn't even have turned around. Like,
no, it's not even that. It's like, why? Why did you do like?
Yeah, like that was probably like, what are you? Why? Like,
okay, I didn't talk to you. So you say I sexually harassed you?
like,
so you're trying to,
like
bankrupt or you're trying to
put some crazy shit
trying
on
to
him.
destroy
Yeah,
me
like,
and my name as a man
who has a family and all that. Like, whoa.
As a man, if you have nothing in life, you got your name and your word. So like you're trying to destroy
name/reputation.
Well, your word is like,
yeah.
If I give you my word, I'm gonna do something. I should, as a man, if I give you my word, I should honor it. But like, so you're trying to destroy his whole name and get clout out of it or whatever. And then, if I'm found innocent, nothing happens to you. No, fuck that. You need to be held responsible. Like, that's not okay to lie about people. Like people, like the cases where like football players and shit, like where it comes out like false accusation was like, and now a college player doesn't get to the NFL. It's like this one girl, because she was Saudi, he didn't fuck her, and she said he sexually harassed her now because she didn't get to fuck.
That's true too. He's probably
Just
like,
lost.
She was probably like, oh, like, can I come up to your room or something? He was probably like, nah.
Hey, let me, Michael, let me buy you a drink. Sorry, I don't swing that way. I got a wife at home.
Yeah, like I'm going up to the room.
You just turned me down? Michael Irving just grabbed my ass, TMZ. Like,
yeah.
What? So it's like,
and you know, TMZ had to run with the bitch.
She need to be held responsible. Like,
oh, for sure. And you know what? Just before we get off of it, I did want to close with one thing on that. It was one of those times where, and again, never take my intuition serious. You don't have to. I just go by it and trust my own gut. When I heard that story come out, I was like, okay, let me look at the story at face value here. We got Michael Irvin walking through the lobby. He's going back up to his room.
Everything to lose in his career.
Everything to lose, family, career, everything.
At
this
convention also for work.
This woman claims that he cornered her in the hotel lobby
with plethora of people
and forced his hands on her
in front of,
like you said, plethora of people.
And I don't know the exact amount of people, but this is
neither do I. And the video looked like quite a bit. Looked like quite a bit of people
during Super Bowl week, wherever they're at,
and
there's always people everywhere.
The thing that really comes down to it is, it didn't seem like something Michael Irvin would do.
So,
like, it just didn't seem like that. It didn't make sense to me. Michael Irvin, like you said, is going to throw it all away in the middle of a hotel lobby. Like, it doesn't.
It's a serious allegation, so
makes sense.
So you have to take
who does that?
It was such a serious allegation that you have to take it seriously, but at the same time,
you approach it like, what is this bitch talking about? Like,
right? It'd be like if someone came to me, it was like,
that's why I'm glad how quick it came out that the cops were like,
at home was doing belligerent shit. I'm not even gonna say it because you never would. Was throwing hands at home. Who are you? How do you know Luke?
That's a good one, yeah.
Like, I would call you, be like, hey, bro, what's up?
Or yeah,
but I would call you out of the blue. Wouldn't be like, hey, I would be around the bush, like, what you up to? See how your voice is, because I know you as a human. Oh, is he a little on edge right now? Oh, you trying to hang out? Oh, why not?
Well, it'd be one of those
but
things,
it'd be like, if you're trying to avoid hanging out with me.
No, it'd be like, right away if some woman came out and said, oh, we got drunk late. You'd be like, we got drunk and laid his hand. No, he didn't. He put his fucking finger on the beach, Phil. And he turned the music all the way up because that's what he does.
And I know that's the truth, but because it's so serious, but because it's a serious thing,
you'd have to be like, let me make sure. Like, let me.
I'm 99.9999% sure.
That's a good way to put it because that's how I felt on the
But
Michael thing.
I would have to
was
call
this
you.
really doesn't seem real,
But
but
I would call you. But
let me see what this footage is.
Hey, what's up? Like, oh, I got this new album I want to talk to you about. If you're not trying to talk music, I know something. Or like, if you're not at work and you're not
real quick.
So like,
just because I don't want to forget.
There'd be cues.
When Michael said, because I'll be honest, at first too, I had even though I had like when I just heard the story, I thought like, okay,
it's a serious allegation.
And then when I was like, let me see what he says about it. And then when Michael came out immediately and was like, pull the footage. Right. I was like, okay.
Exactly.
No guilty man goes straight to, you don't believe me? Pull the fucking footage.
Like,
I saw the camera. It's there. Pull it.
And that's even better than a lie detector. Because a lie detector can be beat.
And he didn't even really try to say much. He's like,
because he doesn't have to.
Like, fucking yeah.
It's like earlier when we were talking about like our fucking competitiveness and shit in certain things, but
which I don't want to forget to promote our battle for next week.
Right, but also like how we have confidence in ourselves. So it's like, I know I'm top tier Madden player. I don't have to go around telling people. Oh, you don't believe me? See me on the sticks. I bet you'll be upset after that game ends, or you'll be in a different, not upset, but you'll view me differently as a Madden player.
So I did want to dive into one other topic as well on sports, and then we do kind of. Well, luckily there isn't really shit for wrestling, so this is kind of like the last actual topic. Dame Dollar on ring culture.
I think
about how people, because it all started with the interviewer was like, people look at you as the most loyal guy, like doing that same narrative of like, you're never going to leave the Blazers. And he's like, I think you got this all twisted. He's like, I'm not saying that I don't necessarily care about a ring. I want one. But I don't feel like I need one to have the legacy that I have.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say is I think he understands you don't need a ring to be a Hall of Famer if you prove to be
I know two different sports, but it's like, Barry Sanders.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Never got a ring. You still recognize him as one of the best running backs of all time. No,
Dame Lillard is one of the...
Dan Marino. Never won a ring. You still recognize him as one of the best of all time.
Chris Paul. Doesn't have a ring right now.
Doesn't have a ring.
Point guard. The best point guard of all time.
Point. Allen Iverson. No, did he get one?
No. Well, that was also during Riggs' season.
Did he get one?
No.
Okay.
But, so, like, Dame Lillard, I feel...
You can fact check me, too, because I'm not 100 on that. I feel like AI or the Sixers won one. I don't know.
Sixers, maybe after... No.
It was either right before AI.
It was, yeah.
It couldn't have been after.
They had Dr. J, like, and probably before.
But no,
what I'm saying with Dame is, like...
I really don't think the ring... And I feel like people get too attached to the ring thing. Like, oh, well, this guy has 4 rings. This guy has 3. The guy with 4 is automatically better. It's like, well...
and then there's some people that ride the bench and have 6 rings, but we don't talk about.
Yeah, and it's like, that bum? Like...
So that's where I feel like Dame understands, like, A, this is a team sport to win a championship.
Yeah.
You have to have great luck and great team. Not even great players all around, but like a great team.
Dame can't just go out there and give you 50 every night and expect to win. Like
that's what they wanted from AI.
Yes.
And
AI is going to go out there and perform for 45 minutes.
He should have did it the 1 year they made their run, but that's the 1 year. Well, not 1 year, but it was when the documentary was talking about NBA being rigged and shit. Actually came out to be true in the NBA ref. That was AI's run in the playoffs. They like basically stopped AI from winning.
Halted his shit.
Because like anything they did was a foul, but you could punch this man in the throat and it was clean. So it was like Dame understands his legacy is already solidified as one of the greatest point guards of all time.
Oh, for sure, hands down.
And he knows.
No debate.
And he doesn't need a ring to solidify his confidence in his own skills. Like, if you beat me 4 times in Madden, I'll be proud as fuck and happy for you.
If I beat you 4 times in Madden, I'm gonna feel like the Madden god.
You should, because I
might not have 4 wins on you in the last 40 times we play.
But what I'm saying is that's how you should feel because you're beating the Madden guy. But me being the true...
To beat the man, or to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
But I still,
Ric Flair.
Even after those 4 losses, I'm going to be like, I'm still the Madden god, Luke. Like
last night took an L, but tonight we bounced back.
so
But,
it's like that essence of Dame. He's like, I don't got a ring.
No, I
I don't
truthfully
got
don't.
a ring, but I'm a better player than you.
I agreed
Like-
fully with how Dame felt on ring culture. So to talk about some wrestling, a little bit of pro wrestling action. Slash UFC. But we'll dive into wrestling first, and then I'll let you
That's
talk
a
on the
crazy
card.
armbar if he gets it.
The Bella Twins have officially changed their name to the Garcia Twins.
Is that
I don't know if you saw that.
Is that so they can come back and not have to
Compete.
pay the copyright?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure WWE owns that name.
I think that
That's
sounds
so
fucking
shitty
stupid.
that WWE does that. But I get it.
I
get it. It's shitty that
yeah.
You're having people come back and wrestle again.
And now they
But
gotta go by something completely else.
And you'd make
the Garcia Twins sounds yuck compared to the Bella Twins.
Not even that, but if you would make the rebranding of the Bella Twins, you're gonna make more off that than Garcia Twins. So just give them the cut they want. Obviously, in Bella Twins, in real life, you gotta know you're not getting 100% of the cut. It's business.
Yeah,
but
WWE gave you that name.
You got to get the mutual.
WWE also gave them that name. That kind of plays a factor in this too. It's not like they came to the WWE and they signed them with that name.
Okay, yeah, but at the same time, they made that name what it is.
Yes.
You gave me the name, but I made it what it was.
Yes, they made it into the Bella brand.
That's why I said you got to have the.
I mean, they made it into a whole ass brand.
Because
like
they're probably
fucking reality
Bellas
TV show.
Like,
it's a brand.
They probably wanted 80-20%. WWE having the 80, where Bella's wanted opposite. But in reality, you got to understand
a lot more the chunk.
Reality, you got to understand WWE. If you give them 40%, you take 60. You're making more off that 60% than you would off the fucking Garcia Twins.
I saw it. Yeah,
because
I'm just interested to see where they go in general. With I mean, obviously, it looks like they're gonna head to AEW.
That's what I was about to say. Because now they're not coming back to
Bianca Belair. To talk a little WWE action. Bianca Belair is officially the longest reigning African American champion. Cross female and male, longest reigning. She's had the longest reign.
Applause for that.
Much deserved. Love Bianca. Love the EST of WWE.
Quick prediction or thought, and I want your opinion if you feel it could come true.
Okay. What you got for me?
Bella Twins are going to AEW because of the beef and despise with bad business of WWE. Just like other superstars might learn quickly, it's not the same production systems. Do you think within the next year, WWE and the Twins come back to an agreement? Because in AEW, I feel like they're still going to get...
For whatever reason, it seems like Nikki and Triple H just can't figure it out. That's what I'm getting from this. It's Nikki and Triple H.
Does it stem from Nikki and McMahon? And she's just tying it in.
It stems from Nikki's rant at the beginning of the year that apparently the Bellas came into contact with Triple H and, said, hey, the Royal Rumble's coming up. Like, we're good. Like, we can do it. Like, just let us know if you need us. And Triple H got back and was like, thank you, but, like, we're good. Okay. And Nikki took that as like, oh, you're good. Like, and then went on to be like, how are you not going to let us in there? We're the leaders of the women's revolution. You're not letting us in. And then Triple H and then I'm assuming Triple H was like, well, let me reach out and see if we can't figure this out. There is Mania. And then, because there was speculation that he was like, well, I don't want you for Rumble, but I wouldn't mind having you for Mania. And that wasn't good enough, apparently. And then now it sounds like the Bellas wanted too much money to come back. And Triple H was like, you know what? I got to worry about too much other shit. This has turned into a headache. Here, we're going to keep the Bella name, but you're good. Go.
So, okay, I get
because they weren't alumni. They were still technically under contract.
How I see it is it's a petty beef. It started off with something small, but it personal.
Like Triple H was like, damn, bitch, I just told you I didn't need you for the Rumble. Like,
to be fair, you didn't ask. You offered, and like you said, hey, if you need us, cool. You didn't say.
And I got back to you and said.
But you didn't say,
got the match figured out.
We would like to go. You didn't make it seem like. It wasn't like a.
Like, hey, Triple H, I really want to do the Rumble. Like, it would mean a lot to us if we could. And Triple H would have been like,
if you have room for us.
You know what? Let me get to the NXT gals. Let me go talk to them and be like, sorry, we'll figure out.
What I'm saying is, they go to AEW. They're going to get a pop there because they're going to be the new big names. But then that pop isn't the same as a WWE pop though.
No, a lot less
Neither-
people.
That pop, but also the pop in the pocketbooks.
Ooh,
So
that's a good-
after a year,
the Tony Khan checkbook doesn't go as deep as
but
the
the
WWE.
but the
one.
abuse you're taking is the same.
Worse.
And I was about to say, if not worse, because you're dealing with more amateur wrestlers.
And people
Less
get extreme out of nowhere.
And so that's why I was led with, after a year, petty beef can dissipate and realize, like,
And Nikki might be
Grass
like, you know what,
always
maybe
is
I
always
was
greener.
tripping. Let me
Grass is
call and
always
see if
greener
we
on their
can't figure
side.
this out.
So, okay, Triple, yeah, I wanted 80% of the name, blah, blah, profits. Like,
But we can figure
That is-
something else out.
I was mad, I was upset, blah, blah. Like, you're right. I hadn't been wrestling in best wrestling shape for a year. You hadn't seen me wrestle in over 2 years. So, like, you didn't know if you could fully trust you trust my word, but you haven't seen my actions. So, like, you didn't want me getting hurt. Cool. I didn't take it that way. I took it more personal. I apologize. But can we come to a new agreement to bring us back to the universe? I think that's
Also,
what happened.
I was looking at the timestamp.
And because John Cena can mend all things.
That's true too. Good old Cena. WWE game actually just came out as well.
And
Saw
he's on the
that.
cover.
Fuck yeah, all 3 of them actually. I saw that the deluxe edition is hilarious. It's just his shirt with no
Yeah.
head,
They
It's just-
apparently they've added a special character for Cena.
and it's just the
invisible
shoes.
character.
Yeah,
So like you
It's
have
just
a
the
body,
shoes and
but
the hat. It's
all
funny
the
as fuck.
well, he has the wristbands. He has
Yeah.
the wristbands, the
And he's
shirt,
fucking invisible.
hat, and then the shorts.
Yeah, that's iconic.
That's a
I saw that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are officially teaming up to take on the Usos.
they're gonna win.
So I called that one. I called the triple threat match as well. They announced on SmackDown it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. That card's shaping up to be really cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And
crazy.
wanted to see. Oh yeah, last thing for us to talk about before we mention the battle. Take it away on UFC.
well, we do got the live.
Yeah,
well,
we've had it on.
we
in
got
the
the
background.
stream. Hold on, I gotta get my phone so I can actually read off. Then what? I don't know. I've been using DraftKings.
I've always had respect for the UFC, but it's never been my forte.
I'm not gonna say.
Is it a good card?
This one is yes. It's
Because remember, you can
the-
tell me these names, but I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm looking at.
So the main fight is the third fight of a trilogy.
So what's the headliner tonight? Names I know.
Kamara Usman
Uh,
versus Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards sounds
Usman,
familiar.
Usman was I forget what division they're technically. They're under light heavyweight. So, but Usman was champion for a while. Like was reigning. He was a dog.
He's feeling
Leon
Lucy.
Edwards.
Maybe I go with
Him and
tonight.
Edwards fought when they were both younger. And then, so now Edwards worked his way back up, fought him, challenged him, was losing the whole fight into the 5th round, last like 45 seconds, got a head kick, knocked him out.
Oh,
Like, so it got the Lionheart. Like, their 4th round, you saw him defeated. Like you could tell when you break a spirit in somebody, like, he had that happen and then found a way to, like, his trainers pushed him through it. Basically, his corner was like, no, you're a fucking beast. You can do this. His corner brought him back into the 5th round.
yeah. See,
In
I
the
don't know
5th
any of
round,
these
like-
guys like I used to.
One head kick won him the fight. Like, it was wild. So, like,
I keep seeing that name. He must be
he's a
fighting
dog.
tonight.
Justin Gaethje, he's fighting, I believe, next.
That's probably why they're doing this promo right now.
Versus Rafael Faiza. I don't know Rafael really. Justin Gaethje, he's strong puncher, but also like resilient energy. So he's looking for a fight, and
Spoil him for a fight.
but is gonna bring the fight to you whether you want
He's
it
an
or
angry
not.
lad.
Literally, like as soon as he gets in the cage, I'm here to punch you in the face until you're on the ground. And like if you don't match his energy, like it's gonna be a long night for you.
Some
Because
St. Patty's Day beatdowns tonight. Happy belated St. Patty's Day to everybody out there. Hopefully everybody got to enjoy some drinks. If not, hopefully you're enjoying them tonight. Which brings me to my next one.
yes sir.
So, Maroon 5 versus Slipknot. We're just, it's not one to take too serious. Just a styles clash. We're going to have some fun, enjoy some drinks ourselves, enjoy some good time, put some smoke in the air. It'll be fun. You'll see a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs. Hearing Adam Levine and Corey Taylor go back and forth. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I got Maroon 5. Danathan has Slipknot. Who do you got winning? 12 rounds, but I'm going to ask him if he wants to go 14.
All right, so
12 or 14.
So 12 rounds. Either way, I think Maroon 5's pulling it out. If it's 12-rounder, early prediction, Maroon 12, so 7-5.
7-5.
But then, if it's a 14-rounder, it's going to go 9-5 or 10-4.
Wow.
For Maroon. The longer it is, I feel like
the harder it gets for him.
Slipknot. Because,
I like that.
Slipknot has some for sure bangers that people just range out to.
Before I forget, Duality.
So there's some that is just oh shit, you're in it.
And then it's going to kick to She Will Be Loved.
Right, but then it's Maroon 5 just...
They got a lot of hits, man. It's just the fact. They got a lot of fucking hits. A shitload of them.
It's yeah.
If you told me I had to go 20 rounds, I'd be like, okay, that's fine with me. I got them. You need them, I got them.
Literally.
Got plenty of these.
Could we go longer, actually?
That's why I was going to throw it by him. If you want to do 14, I'll do 14. I'll throw it at him. I'd be more than happy to do that. And my songs aren't even that long either.
And I mean, necessarily, it doesn't have to hurt him, but because that means he could kind of get a feel for the judging, and then in the first few rounds, get a feel for the judging, and then dial in, and then lock in for.
I plan on going foot on the neck at that point.
Well,
to see how the first couple rounds go, feel them out.
Well, Maroon 5 is the more commonly listened to of the two.
Yes, I would almost bet they have more monthly listeners. They performed at the fucking Super Bowl,
so
Slipknot does have a diehard fan base, though.
That's what I mean. So, technically, advantage here, just looking at it, Maroon 5, but, if he has 2 rounds to get a feel for how the judges do they this era or this era more? If he can hone in a little bit, so, extra few rounds could give him that leeway.
That's true.
And then if he hones in and just locks in on the judges,
and
he
then
could bust out 4, 5, and then it's a
I think that should be good. I'm definitely not nervous going into tonight's.
No, I'm just saying.
The other thing I wanted to mention just before we wrap up here. 27 laps out now, all streaming services, all DSPs. When Vampires Go Surfing, coming soon. I love how I love being able to just use soon so loosely. But next week,
coming soon, aka next 3 years.
You never know. Could be coming tomorrow
or 6.
But
more style.
And speaking of that, this is what we're ending on. Before we went live on the pod, when we were getting a little pregame action in, next Saturday, winners bracket showdown, big one. Yeah. We are now. This is one that we all will be taking serious. Yeah. Competitive nature at an all-time high. The best rapper alive versus the best rapper alive. Snuka versus Tuker. Kendrick Lamar versus Lil Wayne. Winners bracket showdown next Saturday night.
Weezy F baby.
Gonna be a great one, brother.
Yes, sir.
But for now, we got Maroon 5 Slipknot coming at you live in under an hour. This was amazing. A long episode. We had a lot to talk about. Pull up a chair, episode 31.
I think
much of March Madness, Christmas in March. We got a blizzard outside. It's looking like Johnny Depp and Blow. And if I was Johnny Depp and Blow, then I would let it snow. But that's just me wilding out and being extra, though.
And next week will definitely be one of the most competitive battles because
just between anything goes. 14 rounds between me and you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Between us, we could have a cup of water and somehow find a way to become competitive.
And just fucking Kendrick versus Wayne. Oh my god!
But we are just ultra competitive.
The records that we're about to hear, man.
Since childhood, we're always trying to oh you fucker.
So, yeah, and there's gonna be a lot of that.
So it's gonna be more competitive than between other participants he's going against, even though it's still competitive. But this time,
there's grit to it.
rather than having one in the holster ready for like the other person,
We're just
this time every round we're coming with a shot. Like, so yeah, Wayne.
Fun.
Yeah, Wayne versus that's gonna be a doozy. Like,
it'll be a good bounce back from us taking a little bit of a
Anything goes,
non-serious note this week.
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, anything goes. Let us know who you guys got winning next week. You guys get the scoop and the drop on that early. Thank you for being tuned in. Pull up at your episode 31. This was a long one, so we appreciate the love to y'all.
If you want us to talk about
and toss us topics if you'd like us to talk about something as
or
well.
movies we
Doesn't
should review.
necessarily have to be the 4 categories. And movies we should review as well.
Like, if you've got any topics or random conspiracies or rules that you don't like,
conspiracy.
Rule changes in sports or WWE they should think about, we'll discuss them openly.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like,
the author, Book of Snuka, Tukur Tente, the ultimate sensei.
The muscles will be there one day.
We will be seeing you guys shortly for Sleepless Radio episode 136. Appreciate the love. Keep the love high and the hate low.
Stay blessed and less stressed.
Like that.
I've been saying it since 2020.